Hi, it's Jeff, and today I'm going to try to help you understand a little bit about addiction from a different perspective. Um, for people that are new to trying to understand addiction, maybe you're a spouse of someone. I work with spouses quite a bit, and family members. Maybe it's a son or a daughter. Um, when they think about addiction, they're thinking a lot about the substance, what the person's using, like alcohol, cocaine, or heroin, or whatever, pills, or gambling, still an addiction, or they're thinking about how much they're using or how often they're using. But addiction doesn't root itself in the substance or the volume or the frequency. It roots itself in something else. Uh, and many years ago, I was a consultant, as I am now, but in a different capacity. I worked with the U.S. Embassy system overseas, and I traveled a lot internationally, working at schools and colleges and private secondary schools here in the U.S., talking about addiction and mental health issues. And this is one of the ways in which I try to explain it to people so they understood exactly, so they could, I think, better self examine their own relationship. And this was very helpful for people. When I was in India one year, I remember hearing this story about this monkey infestation that happened in this city. And the story was that they tried everything to get rid of these monkeys. They tried to trap them, they did all sorts of things, and they spent a lot of money, and nothing ever worked. Finally, one day, an older gentleman said, "Pay me a little money. I'll get rid of the monkeys." And people kind of laughed at him, like, "Who is this guy? He doesn't even own a company. What does he know?" But they really were out of answers. So they said, "Sure, we'll give you a shot." So he showed up at the market, the city square where the monkeys were the biggest problem, one day with a cart full of clay pots. These little clay pots with a small circle, just enough for a monkey to get his hand in like that. But it was shaped like this. And in the clay pot, he put berries and nuts and raisins, things that monkeys just really couldn't resist. And then he tied a rope to the bottom of the clay pots and laid these clay pots all over the city square and covered the rope with leaves. Sure enough, the monkeys were curious and they went down. They saw the treats inside the clay pot and they slid their monkey hand in there and they grabbed them. And sure enough, this is where the problem started. The problem was their fist, now clutching the treats, would not fit outside the jar. They couldn't get their hand out anymore. So the trapper would just grab the rope once he had a monkey that reached into the jar and pull the monkey to him, and that was kind of the end of the monkey. What did the monkey have to do? All it had to do was let go of the treats, and freedom. And I use this story to demonstrate just a different perspective on addiction, which is, or a lot of things, if you want to spread the rumor, the metaphor, the story wider, is it's the attachment that is what is causing the problem. It's not the substance or how much or how often, it's the attachment. So for people to create healthier lifestyles, whether it's addiction or it's relationships or it's work or whatever, an examination of the attachment and why the attachment exists is essential to reestablish new attachments that are healthy. So just a different perspective on addiction. Maybe you haven't heard something like that before. It gives you an idea that you can look at relationships in your life and ask you, is this really a healthy attachment for me, or am I trapped with my fist in the clay pot? If this resonates with you and you'd like to work with me, I'd love to hear from you.